What's worse for a father, breaking the law or letting your child go hungry? That was the impossible choice faced by Marcus Thompson, a 19-year-old young man standing nervously before Judge Frank Caprio in the Providence Municipal Court. He had been charged with speeding 65 miles per hour in a 35 zone late at night. But what unfolded in that courtroom would become far more than just another traffic case. Judge Caprio asked the usual question, "Mr. Thompson, why were you driving so fast at 11:47 p.m.?" Marcus looked down, his voice was soft, his hands trembled slightly. "Your Honor, I know I was wrong, but my son, he was crying. We were out of baby formula. The store was closing and I didn't know what else to do." Judge Caprio leaned back, quietly observing the young man. This wasn't arrogance, it wasn't carelessness, it was desperation. Marcus explained he was raising his 3-week-old son Elijah, completely alone. The baby's mother had left after giving birth. His own parents were gone, and the grandmother who raised him had died the previous year. He had no one, no support, just him and the baby. He had dropped out of college where he was studying to become a teacher to work nights at a warehouse, $12.50 an hour, no benefits. Some nights, he had to bring Elijah with him because there was no one else to help. And that night, after a long shift, he came home to a crying baby and an empty formula container. He panicked. The store was minutes from closing, so he drove too fast. "I couldn't stand to hear him cry like that," Marcus said. "It felt like he was in pain. I had to feed him." There wasn't a single dry eye in the courtroom. Judge Caprio stepped out from behind his bench, a rare move, and looked Marcus in the eye. "Let me ask you something," he said. "If the same thing happened again, would you do it differently?" Marcus paused, visibly torn. Then, with a quiet honesty, he replied, "I want to say I'd find another way, but if I was alone and my son needed me again, I'd probably do the same thing." He wasn't justifying it. He wasn't asking for sympathy. He was being real. And that truth, that fatherly instinct, hit everyone in the room. After a long silence, Judge Caprio gave his decision. "Marcus, I'm dismissing this case. No fine, no court costs, no penalty. You're already doing everything you can to be a good father. That matters more than a traffic ticket." But, he added, "you must promise to drive safer. If you're ever in that kind of emergency again, call 911, they will help you. And before you leave today, Inspector Quinn will give you a list of programs, WIC, childcare support, even grants for school. And finally," he said, "I want you to come back in 6 months with your son. I want to meet Elijah." 6 months later, Marcus did just that. He returned to court not as a defendant, but as a proud father. In his arms was a healthy, smiling baby boy with bright eyes and chubby cheeks. Elijah. Judge Caprio smiled warmly. "Marcus, you look different." Marcus nodded. He stood taller, spoke with confidence. "I signed up for WIC, found subsidized daycare, and I started taking online education classes again. Slowly, I'm working toward my degree. I want to be a teacher, so Elijah grows up knowing his dad never gave up." The judge looked at the little boy, who stared curiously at the courtroom. "He's beautiful," Caprio said. "And so are you for the father you've become." Then, he turned to the courtroom and said something that stuck with everyone. Justice isn't always about punishment. Sometimes it's about knowing when a person's already doing everything they can. Marcus didn't break the law out of carelessness. He broke it out of love. And love, real hard, selfless love, is not something to punish, it's something to protect. Marcus Thompson's story became a quiet legend in that courthouse. A reminder that behind every case is a human being. And sometimes, the most heroic thing a person can do is simply show up and keep going. Not all heroes wear badges. Some carry baby bottles and work night shifts. And sometimes, justice doesn't just mean enforcing the rules, it means listening, understanding, choosing compassion over coldness. That's what Judge Caprio saw in Marcus, not a criminal, but a father, one who refused to let his child suffer, and that is true justice.